How are we doing? Welcome back. Oh, bit of a slurp. I'm on the old green tea and honey today. Oh God, it's like -3 outside, something like that. It's bloody freezing. So I need something hot to drink. Anyway, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing well. I'm still jobless. Hope you're not. So today I thought I'd do something spicy. A nice beef keema curry. It's very simple, doesn't need a lot of spice. So don't be kind of overwhelmed. Don't be thinking there's going to be loads of spices in this. There's not. And it's going to cost like bugger all. It's really, really cheap. But before we get into it, do the usual thing. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you very much. Share the recipes to your friends, family, and of course those people in need. But anyway, come on, get your fizzle down here. Let's make this beef keema curry. What? Okay, quick little rundown of what we got then. It's very, very simple, this. Got some minced beef, 500 grams. Now look how little that cost me. I know it's Marks and Spencer's, but look, absolute bargain there. I picked 2 packs of these up a couple of weeks ago, just over £1 each. I stuck them in the freezer. Obviously factor that into the cost if you're, you know, not buying reduced mince, but you can pick up like packs of mince from Aldi's now for like £1.59, 69, something like that. And yes, it's like some of the higher fat content stuff, but you can always skim it off, you know, as you cook it. I've got about 100 grams of frozen peas. Got a tin of chopped tomatoes there. I know you might be thinking, oh, look at you, fancy boy Adam, going to Marks and Spencer's. Well, actually, I was just cutting through the shop, to be honest with you. They were only 55p, which isn't too bad for Marks and Spencer's. 4 medium-sized potatoes, about that sort of size. Got 1 fat-off red onion. Use a nice sort of decent-sized one like that. Ginger garlic paste as well. Focus, you shit. I would use fresh normally, but I haven't got any garlic, I haven't got any ginger. If you want to use fresh, it's very simple to make. It's just equal parts ginger and garlic, just finely minced up, put into a little dish, mixed up with a little bit of water, ginger garlic paste. A little bit of water as well, we're going to need that. Salt, oil for cooking, and of course our spices. Got the dried spices there, and I've also got some whole spices here as well. 2 cloves, 3 cardamom pods. Now I know I've mentioned this before, but it's really worth just spending about a tenner, going out to one of those Asian shops, not the supermarkets, because they flipping rip you off. Those little Asian supermarkets, they've got like a myriad of spices and stuff. Go in there because you'll get better quality and a lot more bang for your buck. Mine are all just organised in this little spice tin. You don't have to buy one of those, but they're really good. I think this was about £3.99, something like that. I'll put a list on the screen as well of just like basic starter spices to get you going. But enough of me waffling on about ingredients. Let's put them in the pan and make something out of them. Right, so I've got my pan here. I'm going to get that onto a, I'd say medium heat. If it'll light. Same old story, this.
Tasting Tucker.
Thank you. Then I'm going to, oh, excuse you. I'm going to add a good lug of rapeseed oil. You don't have to use rapeseed, you can use sunflower. And if you've got it, use some ghee, but I don't recommend you just go out and buy that in these times because it is expensive. Ghee is basically Indian clarified butter. It's got a slight fermented taste to it, but it's bloody marvellous. But in these times, it is very expensive, so if you can't afford it, don't go out and buy it. Give it a bit of a swirly swoosh, and then I've sliced up my onions, get them in. And unlike some curries, it's not going to take a lot of cooking. You're not going to have to marinate anything. Okay, it's all done in one pan, and it's going to cook fairly quickly too, so you're going to save on gas, or electric, depends. And what we want to achieve with the onions is to get them fairly soft, but crucially, we need to get some colour on them as well. We don't want them as brown as burger onions, but we do want a little bit of caramelisation. A little bit of colour. I'd say it's going to take like 5-10 minutes. Pour yourself a nice beverage, sip away whilst you tend to your onions. Okay, so once your onions have got a little bit of a tinge, I'm going to go in with our spices. I'm going to first go in with the whole spices, the clove and the cardamom. And here's a little tip for you. If you don't want to be noshing into your curry and then all of a sudden you bite into a clove, I don't mind it, to be honest. I don't care. It's flavour, doesn't bother me. And if I see it, I'll just sort of fish it to one side. But if it does bother you, just fry them off for a few minutes in the onions, take them out, put them into a bit of cheesecloth or something like a coffee filter, just kind of twist it up in that, put it to one side and then put it in the curry when we add everything else. Right, so now we're going to add our dried spices, about a teaspoon of turmeric. I've turned the heat down as well because I don't want to burn those spices. Teaspoon of chilli powder. Remember, not all chili powders are the same, some are hotter than others. 2 teaspoons of ground coriander and a teaspoon of ground cumin. In we go. And I will add some ginger garlic paste in a minute, but what I do need to do is just kind of get these started in that in that oil. Just for a couple of minutes, it's going to wake the spices up, get everything going, but make sure the heat isn't too high because you're going to burn them. And when you burn your spices, the whole thing's bloody knackered, innit? A couple of minutes in, and I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of ginger garlic paste. Give that about 30 to 60 seconds in that pan, just to kind of make everything fragrant and cook that garlic out a bit. Next, I'm going to add the beef. Out of the way, you. Get that in there. Going to start crumbling it in. Because what we don't want in here is like loads of massive lumps. We want nice separate grains of beef. And just like with the onions, just spend a little bit of time breaking that mince down and kind of getting a little bit of colour on there. You will find there's going to be a lot of water that comes out your mince. Don't worry about that. Just cook it out, let the water evaporate, and then you'll be back to frying again. Again, that's going to take like 5 minutes or so. See you in a bit. Right, so my beef has been frying off for a few minutes. Now you can see how much fat, get a towel, is sort of coming out of that beef. Obviously with the oil that we've got in there. Now I'm going to take a little bit out, but don't take too much. Don't be scared of fat. Fat is good for you. Well, natural fats anyway. It adds flavour, but it also cooks the spices out as well. So I'm going to put some into a dish. I'm going to keep it just in case I want to add some back in. But make sure you keep plenty of fat in there. Then I'm going to add a little bit of water. That's just going to sort of lift off the khaki bits, anything that's on the bottom of the pan. Chopped tomatoes, in they go. Swill that about a bit with some water just to get the rest of the juice out. Good pinch of salt. Maybe 2, there's quite a lot there. Give that a mix, make sure everything's all combined. Whack the lid on. And that's going to take about half an hour, 35 minutes to cook in total. But about 15 minutes in, we'll peel the spuds, dice them up, and then chuck them in. Okay, so we're about 15 minutes in. We'll add our diced potatoes. Get those spuds all coated in that wonderful orange flavoured oil. I am going to add just a touch of water because it is looking a little bit too dry. Back on with the lid. Give it another 15 minutes or so. Right, so we're about 5 minutes away. I'm just going to check to make sure the potatoes are cooked through. Yep, they're about there. I'm going to add our not so frozen peas. Get them in. And I'm just going to finish it off with some garam masala. I'd say about 1 heaped teaspoon will do. Garam masala is a finishing spice. It just kind of wakes all the other spices up. Sort of freshens it up, I suppose. Give it a good old shufty. Lid back on. Give that like 2-3 minutes. It's done. Right, let's give this a taste. There we are, look at that. I'm just going to try this on its own. You could serve this with some like rice on the side, some naan, some roti. Also, a little tip for you, if you leave the potatoes out, this makes an excellent jacket potato filling as well. So you can whack some jacket spuds in the air fryer, cook them through, put some filling on the top, whack some raita on there. It's going to make a fantastic meal. Going to get a bit of everything. Potato, a bit of keema. Of course, it's a bit steamy, isn't it? In we go. Oh, that is absolutely wonderful. It's spicy, but not too spicy. You get that nice sort of background flavour from the clove, but it's not overpowering. It's just a different, exciting way to have mince. And when it's cold enough outside to freeze your tits off, it's going to warm you straight up. It's like internal central heat in this. So there we have it, beef keema curry. Let me know in the comments what you think of it. I'm not going to claim this is authentic and the right way to do it because I'm sure there's plenty of other ways to do it. But I'm going to bugger off, leave you to it because I'm starving, you're probably starving. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, share this to your friends and family and of course the people in need. Cheap and easy recipes like this are going to get us through this show. Anyway, I'll see your gorgeous faces next time. Ta-ta for now.